Hey, I'm Flavio il Maple con la camicia and welcome to this new episode. Do you want to get a free game? Yes, because today we are going to talk about Robo Rescue Origins, a game by Everland Studio that sponsored this video. And yes, you got it right, you can get this game 100% free. This is a solo game, but can also be played competitively with more players if you get more decks. And each deck you want to take beyond the first costs just $1. Why? Well, because they really believe in this project. And most of all, this is a prequel to a game called Robo Rescue that is going to be on Kickstarter later this year. Now let's see how it works. And here we are ready to see how Robo Rescue Origins works, this little card game that is the little brother of a bigger board game called Robo Rescue that will be in crowdfunding later this year. Now this is a game for a single player, but taking more decks, you can play it with more people. The setup is very simple. Take these two cards that represent the storage and the workshop, then shuffle all the other cards and flip 3 face up. If you play solo, the game lasts 6 rounds. Instead, with more players, it lasts 5 rounds. Each round is divided in 4 turns. In the first 2 turns of each round, you will draw 2 cards from the deck, you look at them, and then you have to assign each card in one of the 4 labs, that are the 4 spaces adjacent to these 2 cards. Instead, in the third and the fourth round, you will draw 1 card from the deck, and the second card can be taken from the display or from the deck. These cards will be assigned in the 4 labs. When you take 1 card from the display and you add it in one of your labs, draw immediately another one. There are 6 types of cards, or I should say 6 types of icons. Each card, in fact, can have more than 1 icon. You can find the workbench, the engineers, and then there are the robot parts. And as you can see, the cards can share more than 1 component. Moreover, the cards can be yellow, red, blue, and purple. When you're going to assign the cards in one of the 4 labs, you have to follow specific rules. In each of the 2 workshops, you can play 1 card of each type. For example, if in this workshop there is already this component, you cannot add another one. Instead, in the storage, you can only place robot parts, so workbenches and engineers cannot be placed in the storage. And in the storage, there can only be cards of 1 color. So, if I have placed this card in this storage, I cannot add this one, but I can place it here. Moreover, when you place a card in one of the storages, if there are already cards in there, the one that you are adding must have at least one of the icons showing on the other cards. And what happens when I cannot place 1 card, like in this case? Being red, I can't place it in these 2 labs, and being already present in these 2 labs, I cannot place it here. So, I will choose one of the labs, I will flip all the cards, and place here the one I cannot use. That lab will not be available for the rest of the round and will not score points at the end of the round, but can be used to discard the cards I cannot play. At the end of the round, which means when you have played 8 cards, you will score points, but you can gain points only from 2 labs. Obviously, you will not get points from a lab that have face-down cards. But how points are scored? In these 2 labs, you will score points shown directly on the cards. So in this case, you will gain 9 points, and in this case, you will gain 5 points. Moreover, if the cards in these labs are all of the same color, each card gives you 2 additional victory points. If there is just one of a different color, you will not gain the additional victory points. Then if you manage to have all 6 icons inside one of these labs, each card scores 1 additional point. Instead, how storages score points? You count the victory points depicted on the cards associated to the icons that are visible on all cards, so in this case you score 9 points. The other icons do not score points because they are not visible on all cards. Moreover, based on how many cards you've managed to place in that storage, you will get additional victory points. If you placed 4 cards, you gain 2 points for each card for a total of 8 victory points. If you placed 3 cards or 2 cards, 1 victory point for each card. If you have placed just 1 card, you will not gain additional victory points. And so the round ends. If you are playing with more players, the player that scored the most points will take one of their cards and keep it face down next to them, indicating 1 victory point. In the case of a tie, each tied player will take a card face down. At the end of the 5th round, who will have the most cards face down will be the winner. If you are playing solo instead, mark the points you have scored, because you will sum them with all the others from the other rounds to determine the endgame points at the end of the game following this chart. So now all the players discard all the cards they have played and keep it in a pile next to them so they can count the rounds, separated from the one that scored points. And at the end of the game, who will have the most points will be the winner. If you want a more challenging game, in the 3rd turn of each round, you can place cards only where you have already other cards. So you cannot place cards in empty labs. And we are back! As you saw, easy to learn, puzzly, interesting, nice illustrations. So, if you want to get a free game, just follow the link in the description. And be sure also to check Robo Rescue, the board game, when it's going to be on Kickstarter. Well, that's it! If you have any questions, put them in the comments and I'll answer as soon as I can. Thank you for watching and see you next time!